Now! Hi guys, it's Nick from Let's Chat, and in this video today I'm going to review my round 13 footy tips, and I'm also going to do my round 14 footy tips. Sorry this video has been out a bit late. I've been busy the past week because I've been in Melbourne and I got back yesterday, and it's Wednesday today when I'm recording this. So yeah, so sorry about that. But let's get underway. So first of all, I'm going to review my round 13 footy tips, and the first match I tipped Sydney to beat St Kilda, but somehow St Kilda upset the Swans at their home ground, and that's the first time that St Kilda has won against Sydney at the SCG in a long time, and they spoiled Buddy Franklin's 350th game. The next game was between the Bulldogs and Port Adelaide, and I attended this game, and Port Adelaide were too good for the Bulldogs. They won by like 16 points or so, can't remember. I tipped Brisbane against Hawthorn, but somehow Hawthorn won in an upset game, and I also attended this game with Sammy, so it'll be in the weekly vlog. But Hawthorn had a great win against Brisbane. Next game, I tipped Adelaide against West Coast. That was an easy tip. They smashed them by 122 points with Tex Walker kicking 10 goals in his 250th game. How crazy was that? Next game was Fremantle versus Richmond. I got that tip wrong because I tipped Fremantle and Richmond somehow got over the line. Tim Taranto at his best with 36 disposals and 2 goals. On Sunday, North Melbourne and GWS. I tipped GWS. That was an easy tip. GWS won. Carlton versus Essendon. I obviously attended this game also. I tipped Carlton, but Essendon were too good for us. And the last game I also attended was the Big Freeze, King's birthday. Melbourne versus Collingwood. I took a big risk. I tipped Melbourne, and they won. So I'm so glad I got that tip right, and I had a feeling that Melbourne were going to win that. So I've got 4 tips right this weekend. So now I'm going to do my round 14 footy tips. And the first match of the week, which is on a Thursday night, is between Port Adelaide and Geelong at the Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide are in some really good form. They've won their last 10 matches, and they are unbeatable at the moment. With Geelong, they had to bye, but before the bye, they played the Bulldogs and they got back into their winning ways. But since Port are in good form, I'll have to tip them to win by 16 points. So the next game is between Brisbane and Sydney. Both teams were losers last week. Brisbane had a poor loss against Hawthorn, although Brisbane play shit at the MCG as of late. And with Sydney, well, their season's just gone down the drain just about, because they couldn't even win against St Kilda in Buddy Franklin's 350th game. But on paper, Brisbane are a better team, so I'm going to tip them to win by 27 points. So the next game is between GWS and Fremantle at the Giants Stadium in Sydney. GWS had an easy win over North Melbourne, and Fremantle had a disappointing loss against Richmond. So I'm going for an upset here. I'm going to tip GWS here to win by 18 points. So the next game is between Richmond and St Kilda. Both teams had great wins last week, although I reckon St Kilda will be heading to the game as more confident than Richmond. Although Richmond, they've been playing alright lately since Damien Hardwick decided to quit, and their new coach has been doing a good job for Richmond so far. But there can only be one winner, and I'm going to tip St Kilda in a close one to win by 6 points. So the next game is between Carlton and the Gold Coast Suns at the MCG. It's the first time that these two teams have played each other at the MCG. So Carlton are coming off another horrible loss, and Gold Coast, before the bye, they had another win, so they've been playing alright. I can't remember who they played, but I know the Gold Coast Suns had a win before the bye. So I will tip my Blues though to win by 13 points since we're the favourites heading into the match. So the final match is between North Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs. North Melbourne had another loss. This time it was against the Giants, and the Bulldogs also had a loss. This time against Port Adelaide. But since the Bulldogs are a better team on paper and they're the favourites heading into the match, I reckon the Bulldogs will bounce back and they should win by 67 points. So there you go, guys. Again, for the apologies for being out a bit late this week. But thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Catch you guys.